We all know that person we call Mr. or Mrs. Organized, somebody who meets all their deadlines without ever seeming stressed, often even a couple of days before their work's even due. They appear to be effortlessly successful. Wouldn't we all love to be like them? Well, guess what? If we focus on just a few habits, we can. That's right, follow a few simple steps and then turn them into habits, and you'll see that this isn't that hard, and that pretty soon Mr. or Mrs. Organized can be you. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Set up routines and follow them. When you've got emails to answer, bills to pay, friendships to keep up, your home life and health to look after, and on top of those, all of your work-related tasks, staying on top of it all can be a tall order. So, how do organized people do it? They have a well-thought-out routine to help them. That routine starts in the morning, getting up in good time to get washed, dressed, and have breakfast, and then start work according to schedule. And it may have slots in the day for checking those emails that pile up and anything else you need to take regular care of without interrupting time set aside for your main work tasks, as well as time to rest and recharge your batteries in the evening. The great thing is, once you've got a routine going, you just follow it, almost like you're on autopilot, and it just takes care of itself. Number 2. Have a to-do list ready at the start of every day. Organized people know exactly what they have to achieve on any given day. That's because it's on their to-do list. Having a list of tasks you've prioritized and can tick off one by one once you're done will give you focus and a way of knowing that the day's been successful. You can keep it on your phone, your laptop, you can use many apps that can help you do this, or you can do the old-fashioned thing and put it on some paper using this thing called a pen. And really organized people stay well ahead of the game and know what tasks are lined up a day or two in advance, and they have an idea of how their coming days and even weeks are shaping up so they can plan ahead. Number 3. Prioritize and do first things first. So you're about to put your to-do list together. The question is, how do you decide what goes on it? Organized people know what's most important and put that on the top of their list. And they don't procrastinate. They just get on and do it. And here's another tip for how to prioritize. If you've got a few equally important jobs to get done, do the one that you least like first. Whether that's calling a difficult customer, doing those boring accounts, or cleaning the bathroom, get the worst job out of the way first. Once you've done that, the rest of the day gets easier and you're already on top of things. Number 4. Don't let things pile up. Disorganized people let tasks build up until there's such a huge pile of them they just can't manage it anymore. So don't let things pile up in the first place. That means those 100 emails you haven't replied to or even read. That means the list of half-done and long overdue tasks. That's a list of job applications you wanted to send but missed the deadline for, and that pile of dirty dishes in your sink. How are organized people so good at not letting it all build up? Well, if you've been paying attention, you might have figured it out, because we've already told you. They either have a slot for it in their routine, like the slot we mentioned for checking emails, or the moment they see things are starting to build up, they take early action and put it on their to-do list. Number 5. Go for simple solutions. There's a well-known acronym that's used in business, design, and other fields too. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't use a complicated solution when a simple one will do just fine. Don't put 50 slides in your PowerPoint when you can get all the information across in just 3. And don't take an hour to do it when you could manage it in 5 minutes. Don't spend $100 when you could have spent 10. And don't schedule a meeting when it could have been an email. If you're looking for tips on how to cut out the complications and get things done in the simplest, most effective way possible, we recommend you read The 4-Hour Workweek. In it, Timothy Ferriss explains how he managed to cut out all of the crap, only putting in, you guessed it, 4 hours a week. And you, my friend, could even cut out the complication of taking a trip to your bookstore to find a copy. We've made it as easy as possible for you Aluxers, with some help from our friends at Audible. You can download the audiobook just by clicking on alux.com/freebook. Even better, if it's your first purchase from Audible, you'll get it for free. If that isn't keeping things simple, well, we don't know what is. Number 6. Set reminders. Nobody has a perfect memory, and the best of us will forget to make that call back at 2:15 when we have other things going on. The difference is, organized people know they don't have perfect memories. That's why they set alarms and reminders. Just like making your to-do list, how you do it doesn't matter. It could be anything from an alarm on your phone to old-fashioned post-it notes on your desk or the fridge. Just remember, next time you promise somebody you'll call them at 2:15 sharp, make a note of it and put it somewhere you'll see it. Number 7. Put everything where it belongs. There's an old saying, have a place for everything and everything in its place. That's something organized people swear by, even if they don't use those exact words. Whether it's a place for your socks in the closet, a place for your power tools in the garage, or a folder on your desktop or the cloud where you put the document you've been working on, everything has a place. That way you'll be able to find it when you need it. You'll also know where to put it back when you're finished, and don't leave it out cluttering up the place. And remember, clutter's bad. It doesn't just make you waste time looking for stuff. Research shows having a lot of clutter also makes you more stressed and less productive. For more ideas on how to stop things from piling up and to avoid clutter, check out our video, 15 Ways to Declutter Your Life. Number 8. Keep all the essentials handy. So those power tools we just mentioned that you only use twice a year, they have their special place at the back of the cupboard in the garage, well out of sight. But what about the things you need on a regular basis? They should always be handy, so you don't have to waste time going back into that closet 5 times a day. If that's pen and paper, keep those nearby at all times. If you're going out and think your phone might run out of battery, take a charger with you. In fact, this is an easy way to spot someone who's disorganized. They're the ones always asking to borrow pen and a paper or a mobile charger, and the person who always has a charger on them, yep, that's the organized one. Number 9. Do regular maintenance. In other words, don't wait for the problem to happen before you put in an effort to fix it. Don't wait until your computer crashes every 5 minutes to get it checked. Don't wait until your clothes are shabby and worn out until you go clothes shopping. And the same goes for your health and health checkups. Don't wait until you get a serious health problem to start taking care of your health. What it comes down to is that organized people anticipate potential problems. That's why they get their computer checked. And going back to the last point, it's also why they remember to take their phone charger with them. Number 10. Cut out the everyday decisions that waste time. This is something to work on if you always find yourself wasting time figuring out where to go or what to get for lunch. Have a meal plan in place so you don't need to waste all that time, and you'll save money on food too. Another example of cutting out those time-wasting decisions is what Mark Zuckerberg does with his wardrobe. He only wears black t-shirts so he doesn't have to think about what to wear in the morning. But you probably don't need to go to that extreme. The point is, anything you feel like you're always wasting time on making pointless decisions, figure out a system to solve them quicker. Number 11. Get good at estimating how long tasks will take. This is something a lot of people are bad at. When they're late for the 500th time, it's like a red sign hanging around them telling the world how disorganized they are. We're talking about your colleague who always says they'll get the job done on Monday, but 3 days later it still hasn't arrived. Or that friend who always says they'll be there in 10 minutes, but a half hour later they're still nowhere in sight. Organized people make realistic estimates of how long things will take. That's how they meet their deadlines. If it isn't your strong point, it's something you can improve on without that much effort. Anytime you set yourself a job to do, take a moment to think about how long it took you the last time you did something similar. Be realistic, and then give yourself a little room for error. This way, you'll deliver on time. Even better, you'll get a reputation for being reliable and won't find yourself behind schedule all the time. Number 12. Don't leave tasks half done. Here's another reason disorganized people always end up with a backlog of tasks. They've actually started a lot of them, but they either gave up halfway through or put them off for another day. Organized people have the drive to get through a job until it's complete. They finish work with the satisfaction of knowing it's a job well done, and of course, the peace of mind that comes with ticking off a load of boxes and having a clear to-do list. Number 13. Filter out the unimportant stuff. This is something we need to be good at when we're constantly getting bombarded by messages, calls, and all kinds of notifications. Disorganized people are more likely to be sidetracked by every notification that comes in, regardless of how important and urgent it is or isn't. And then after they've been distracted by their devices, there's a good chance they'll stay on them scrolling Facebook. Organized people get unimportant or non-urgent notifications too. They just resist the urge to be sidetracked. If it's important but can wait until later, they make a note to deal with it then. That's because they know how important it is to stay on task, and when they're on task, they can block out the stuff that doesn't really matter right now. Number 14. Know how to de-stress. No matter how good we are at focusing, we all need to take breaks regularly. They help us recharge our batteries, see the bigger picture after we've been down grappling with the details, and allow us to refocus. Organized people know how to do this, but they also know how to not let that break go on for too long. And something else organized people often do: they set themselves rewards for getting their tasks done. That could be a break. It could be spoiling themselves with their favorite food or a movie. Having a reward lined up motivates you to get your tasks finished. And remember what we said about not leaving tasks half done? If there's a reward waiting for you in the end, that'll give you the extra push to get it done and dusted. Number 15. Have an optimistic mindset. Organized people tend to have an optimistic, can-do attitude. It's what makes them know that they can get things done. It gives them that get up and go to tackle problems head-on. And that kind of positive thinking doesn't have to be something you're born with. It can be a choice, and that's the best thing. It's self-reinforcing. When you feel positive and believe you can do things, that mindset helps you succeed in doing them. And once you succeed, you'll believe in yourself that bit more, and it reinforces your positive thinking. So trust yourself that you can do it and have that optimistic mindset. So A-Luxers, what traits do you think are the most important for being well organized? Let us know in the comments. Now, since you stuck with us until the end, we do have a bonus up our sleeve. Here it is. Don't be a perfectionist. It's got the word perfect in it, so being a perfectionist must be a good thing, right? Well, very often, no, not at all. The thing is, those perfectionist tendencies are going to kill your productivity. Because of them, you'll spend loads more time on jobs than necessary trying to add every last bell and whistle to your work, when often they just don't matter. If you've never heard of something called the Pareto principle, now's the time to take note of it. It's a pattern that's been noticed that often 80% of the value you get from doing something comes from 20% of the work you put into it, and the other 80% of the effort you put in, well, that'll give you just the last 20% of value. In other words, the more time you spend crossing every last T and dotting every last I, the less value you're getting from it. That's why you need to know when to stop and consider your work done. So stop being a perfectionist, know when your job's good enough, and move on to the next task. We hope you found this video useful and you enjoyed it too. If you did, be sure to hit that bell for more quality content every day.